Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM. I'm Adam Gore and thank you guys for joining us here on a Tuesday afternoon as we talk about the ICC Hour. It's made possible thanks to our friends at Renaissance Bank.
Might be a little while before I get to the bank.
That's an incomplete pass. Let's give it a Renaissance replay. Renaissance Mobile Check Deposit. Make the right call and open an account with Renaissance today.
Our guests this week on the ICC Hour include recruiters here at ICC, Miss Taylor Tudor and Miss Michaela Dickerson. They'll tell us how you can become a member of the ICC family. They'll talk about our ongoing orientations on both the Fulton and Tupelo campuses, and they will also learn more about Michaela, who has recently joined our recruiting team here at ICC. Now, you just heard me mention orientation, and you may be wondering how you can get signed up for that. Well, the first thing you got to do is apply and be accepted to the college here at ICC. And you can get a jump on that by visiting apply.iccms.edu. That's apply.iccms.edu. Now, thanks to our outstanding crew in the TIS department, the process of filling out the online application is simple and painless as can be. So much so, even I can do it. So again, visit that link, apply.iccms.edu, and you'll also learn a little bit more when we talk to Taylor and Michaela on the show. In the second half of the hour, we will revisit an interview with ICC alumnus and Athletic Hall of Famer Tim Dillard. Coach Rick Collier and Assistant Sports Information Director Lee Adams will also jump in that conversation as we look back at some of Tim's favorite memories. Now, of course, Tim is now a member of the Milwaukee Brewers postgame show for Bally Sports after retiring from baseball this past season. If you know Tim, you know this is going to be a fun conversation, so you'll want to be sure and stick around for that as well. So, we've got a full show, so let's take a break, hear a few words from our sponsors, including our presenting sponsor, Renaissance Bank.
Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking, go to renaissancebank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
To those who wait, but waiting means staying where you are, and you were meant for more. At Itawamba Community College, you can earn an affordable degree, certificate, or credits to transfer to a university for a fraction of the cost of most colleges while having the experience of a lifetime. Summer and fall orientation registration is underway, and spots are filling up fast. Don't wait. Apply today. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
And welcome back to the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM. We got two special guests today with us as we're going to talk about how you can become members of the ICC family. One voice you're going to recognize, one not so much as we have the newest member of the family. But Taylor, thanks for joining us today. I'm going to give you the opportunity to introduce your sidekick here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Adam. We're so excited to be here. And yes, we do have a new member to welcome. I'm so excited to welcome Michaela Dickerson to the ICC family and as my sidekick as a recruiter. So I know, some of you may know Michaela. She was a student here at ICC. So Michaela, why don't you tell them a little bit about some things you were involved with here at ICC?
Of course. I was pretty involved at ICC. I was an Indian delegate, which was a student recruiter. I was in Phi Theta Kappa. I was in the communication club. I was also a student worker for student activities, and I just volunteered to help with a lot of different events around campus.
Well, I guess the first question would be, obviously you graduated now. What brought you back home?
Well, I knew that I wanted to work in a community college and with education and with students, and then I saw that there was a job opening for ICC, and it was pretty much what I wanted to do. It was my dream job, and I knew I wanted to work at ICC because I had such a great experience here, and I wanted to share that with other students.
Well, just talk about your experience here as a student at ICC. Not as far removed as Taylor, but I'm a little bit further removed. But just talk about your time here at ICC.
Of course, with being very involved, I got to know all the faculty and the teachers and everything really well, and I think that really helped me prepare for my future, and it helped me get internships and jobs, and it helped me when I went to state, and I got to experience a lot there. And then just having those connections with my teachers is what helped me get this job, because I didn't know the job was posted until one of my advisors had texted me and sent me the listing. So just those relationships that I got at ICC really helped my experience be so great.
Well, let's learn a bit more about you. You're a local girl, so tell us a little bit more about where you're from.
Of course. So I grew up in the Amory-Smithville area, but I actually graduated high school from Hamilton, and I've pretty much been all around Monroe County, so my whole life, and got to experience students from other schools and got to make a lot of friendships through that.
Now, did you know Taylor before you came to join the team, or are you just now still learning Taylor?
I kind of knew her before. I remember when I tried out for Indian delegation before I started at ICC, she was leaving, and she was actually in the interview process, and then I met her again right before I left ICC, and that's when she became a recruiter here.
Awesome, and love Taylor. She's high energy. It's one of those that's contagious whenever you're around her. So what are going to be some of your goals now that you're in the recruiting? Because you're coming at a good time, because I believe we're going to be able to get back in the high schools this year. So just what are some of your goals?
I really just want to connect with our prospective students and really bring them to ICC and share with them what ICC has to offer, and more specifically how ICC can benefit them in their future endeavors, and also just to work with the students already here and just help them with their future too.
Well, Taylor, we talk about that. Now let's talk about how they can come visit ICC and maybe set up some tours. And right now, orientation dates are going strong, registration's going strong. So just let's start talking about, I guess, registration first.
Absolutely. So to register for classes as an incoming student, you do have to go through orientation first. And you do have to sign up for orientation. And you can do that online at iccms.edu/orientation. Now, we are capping these orientations, and they're filling up very quickly. So you want to go ahead and sign up for the date that works best for you. There's a couple on each campus in June and July, and even one night orientation. And orientation is actually where you're going to come to campus, make your class schedule. You'll sit down with your advisor, get to know them, get a student ID and a parking decal, and meet lots of friendly faces and see lots of smiles around campus too.
Now, you talk about capping off the amount of people that are in orientation. Why do y'all do that? Why not just say, hey, if you can get here, come here?
We like to cap them because that way we know that we can manage our numbers. We never want it to be too many people that we can't focus on each student one-on-one. So we cap those because that's how many that we're able to manage at one time. That's how many advisors that we have, and a whole lot of planning goes into orientation. Setting up who their advisor is, where their advisor is, so that they can meet with them one-on-one. You know, we pride ourselves on being able to give that one-on-one experience with students. So by capping the orientation sessions, we're still able to do that.
And again, that website, iccms.edu/orientation. Now, before you can get to orientation, you've got to apply. And that's as easy as can be. You visit apply.iccms.edu. Again, apply.iccms.edu. And it's wide open. So if you're thinking about it right now, come be a part of the ICC family. So talk a little bit more about that, and y'all feel free to talk amongst yourself. So
yeah, so apply.iccms.edu is how to apply. The application is a free application. It only takes about 10 minutes to do, and it's super, super simple. Definitely as an incoming freshman straight out of high school, you want to make sure you apply for county tuition if you're in our 5-county district, and even a few of our surrounding counties too. You do have to apply for county tuition, apply for scholarships, and definitely applying for housing. So the housing assignments are going out in mid-June. I won't give an exact date, but they are going out mid-June, and it's very, very competitive. So definitely applying for housing is something you want to do as soon as possible. Michaela hasn't had too much experience helping students with that, but both of us can help applying for admission, scholarships, and housing, and definitely signing up people for orientation. So Michaela was actually an orientation leader herself when she was a student, so she can speak to just the experience of that and what to expect. So Michaela, why don't you tell them what to expect when they come to orientation?
So when you get to orientation, you'll of course sign in and just let them know that you're there, and you'll get a lot of information. The parents will get information and the students, and you'll have a time where the parents and the students will split, and the students will get a chance to meet other students, and they'll have orientation leaders, which are our student leaders on campus, and they'll just kind of get you warmed up to it, and then they'll give you a presentation of just a general overview of ICC and what's here. And then you'll get to meet with an advisor and set up your schedule for the upcoming semester.
I think one of the most unique things, and I say it's unique to me, other schools may do it, but the parent orientation. It's really cool because if you think about it, for these parents, this is the first time they're letting their kids go on their own. So there's a lot of nerves, a lot of anxious, just, like, what have I got? I got to do this, I got to do that. But when they come to college, you can no longer kind of do that because of some rules and stuff. But talk about the parent orientation and just how that can help a parent maybe set their mind at ease right now.
Yeah, so for the parent orientation, it's just the parents. They do get split up from the students, but the students are actually grouped with other students who are going to have the same major as them. So they are automatically meeting friends right off the bat. And during the parent orientation, you're going to hear from our director of financial aid, our director of housing, our dean of students, everyone like that, and be able to ask all the questions that the parents want to know. How much is it going to cost? What's my baby do if they have a flat tire? Where's the closest medical clinic? Things like that. And then you're also going to hear from a panel of students on what you can expect from your student. They're going to give you advice that they would give to their parents to kind of help guide that. You're going to be able to ask them questions on what it's like being a student and getting to know your teachers, because we can tell you all day long how great ICC is and how personal we like to be, but until you experience it for yourself, you can't speak to that. So that's why we like for them to hear from current students, even though me and Michaela are both students and we have the very similar experiences. But to hear from a current student and what they're going through makes it all the difference. So we like for them to hear from those students too.
Absolutely. Just another way that ICC is going the extra mile to help make this transition a lot easier on the parents and the students as well. One other thing, we've got students that maybe not becoming college students this next year, but still in that decision-making process on where they want to go. And we've got some tours that they can take here at ICC, and they look fun. I'll just tell you that. I'll see Taylor, and I know I'll get to see you. How do you drive a golf cart well?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah, I think I do.
Good. Okay, so I can see Taylor. She'll zip around campus a lot, but yeah, we got some great tours. Just so let's talk about the tours here. Are we still doing the online tours as well?
We do have a virtual option out there. For that one, you don't necessarily get to see as much of campus as a walking or driving tour, but we do have those virtual meetings that we can meet with students through a Zoom link that we send to them. But we are open for face-to-face tours, and we actually do not require a mask anymore. So we're super excited about that, to share our smiles with those tours coming in. But we do meet with tours Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4:30 is when we're open for those, and you can schedule those online at tours.iccms.edu or just by calling the school, and we'll get those scheduled for you. But during the tour, you get to sit down one-on-one with the recruiter, and me and Michaela will make sure that you've applied for what you need to apply for and just taking care of business, and then you'll actually go out on a campus tour. Make sure to bring some tennis shoes and maybe even a helmet if you're riding the golf cart with me. I'm just kidding. We have a very specific route, and I'm a safe driver.
She is.
And so we drive our students around campus, show them a classroom, the dorms, where they're going to eat, where all the fun things are happening, and just give them about a 45-minute to an hour tour of campus.
again, just another way you guys go the extra mile. And I appreciate you taking time for me today. I know y'all are busy getting ready for orientations and other things. And Michaela, welcome back to the ICC family because you are rejoining us here. So any final thoughts or any sales pitches y'all want to do for anybody that may be thinking about coming to ICC?
I would just like to say the best thing that you can do is schedule a tour, come see campus, and then that way we can tell you about it, but see it for yourself, because in my eyes, the campus sells itself.
I would just say if you ever have any questions, the ICC family here is more than willing to answer those questions for you. And even if we don't know the answer, we can point you in the right direction.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all for y'all's time. Look forward to talking to y'all again. Michaela, great job on your first interview.
Oh, thank you.
We'll be back more of the ICC Hour right after this on Super Talk Mississippi.
Good things come to those who wait, but waiting means staying where you are, and you were meant for more. At Itawamba Community College, you can earn an affordable degree, certificate, or credits to transfer to a university for a fraction of the cost of most colleges while having the experience of a lifetime. Summer and fall orientation registration is underway, and spots are filling up fast. Don't wait. Apply today. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking, go to renaissancebank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
In Searcy, Arkansas, a young man says I love you for the first time, but his girlfriend doesn't quite hear. In Franklin, Tennessee, a boy encounters his first pickle. And in Kyle, Texas, after a mission for tots, cousins realize they're a long way from Kyle, Texas. One day, many people, millions of orders. This is Howie Sonic.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Today tastes like game day at home, like assigned couch seating. Tastes like coffee table dining and an ice-cold Coke to cool down the heat. It tastes like the game you've waited for all week with friends you've known your whole life. Today tastes like watching football is supposed to, and it never tasted this good. Coca-Cola, together tastes better.
Athletic summer camps are back on the Fulton campus of Itawamba Community College. ICC offers camps in band, basketball, cheer, football, soccer, softball, and volleyball throughout the months of June and July, but spots are limited and they're filling up fast. Visit letsgoicc.com. That's letsgoicc.com to find a camp for your favorite athlete and register today. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renaissance Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the ICC Hour presented by the bank that understands you. That's Renaissance Bank. Visit renaissancebank.com to learn about their rewards extra checking accounts and all the other outstanding banking options they have for you there at Renaissance Bank. Now, as we mentioned at the top of the hour, we are going to revisit that interview with ICC Athletic Hall of Famer Tim Dillard on this week's show. I'll be once again joined by Rick Collier, Coach Rick Collier, head coach of the baseball team here at ICC, and Lee Adams for that interview. So let's get to that interview now here on the ICC Hour. Guys, first off, Tim, let's start with you. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, happy to be here. It's good to see you guys. Rick, I can't remember the last time I saw you.
Last time, probably when you were inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. I knew that. I just wanted you to say it. No.
Well, this is clearly going to be a fun show today. Well, let's just talk about it. And Lee, you feel free to jump in as well whenever you get some thoughts as well. Tim, talk about your time here at ICC, something that maybe kind of jumps off to you right away. And then I know Rick has got some stories he want to share. Lee and I have a story that we hear constantly being around Rick that we're going to talk about too. So, but Tim, go ahead and talk about your time here at ICC.
Nah, it was great. It's where I grew up. You know, I went to high school, but you're not grown. You know, you don't know anything. You're sheltered. You're a little baby. And college is where you kind of have to fend for yourself and figure things out. And I mean, that's what it was for me. ICC was the pivotal stepping stone to get me, you know, just out on my own, just raising adults. I know Rick was real big on that. I actually told I spoke at some high schools recently, and one of the things I tell them is that when the coaches have you at 4 a.m., you know, out running the mile or, you know, rolling down hills or whatever that is, it really has nothing to do with the exercise that you're doing. What it is you're building, you know, a work ethic and accountability and just trying to grow up. Can you be on time? Can you do what you say you're going to do? And so when I think back at ICC, it's like, oh, this is how you become an adult.
Rick, what do you remember of Tim whenever you were in the recruiting process?
Always late.
No, I don't remember that, but I remember that guy playing the game. You could tell he was different. You could tell he was a man amongst boys in this league. Now, you can correct me, Tim, if I'm wrong, but I think he went 13-0 with like 6 saves. You know, nobody touched him hardly. Player of the year in the whole NJCAA, and you know, he started off with about 5 saves with us. And what was funny, I can remember I said, Tim, I pulled him off to the side. I said, "You're too good to be a closer." And he's looking at me, and I said, "Look, man, I'm gonna have to start you one of the games once a week." And he said, "Okay." I said, "But you know, you want to catch, right?" And he said, "Yes, sir, I want to catch now." I said, "Well, which game you want to start?" "Oh, the doubleheader." And most of the people, when I tell that story, they always want to start the first game pitching and catch the second game. Well, Tim wanted to catch the first game and start the second game pitching. And I was like, "We'll try it now. I'm fine with trying it. We'll see how it works out." But he goes 13-0 and rubbing his shoulder. I guess.
Yeah. Always.
I remember that. I was like, wow. But he can elaborate on it. I'd like to know why he wanted to do it. I guess see the hitters or something. But
yeah, I mean, you know, you during summer ball, you do have you play a Legion ball, you play 2 7-inning games. So there was a point there where I started dabbling in pitching, and I wanted to pitch the second game during those times because if I were to throw, you know, the first game, it's such a strain on the arm. You know, I couldn't throw anybody out the second game. so then I'm in college, like, hey, which one of these you want to throw? It's like, well, man, I want to get through the first game, you know, and then the second game I can, you know, I'll be loose. Yeah, it takes me 7 innings to get loose.
I also remember when we put him out there, our games would last about an hour and 15 minutes. And my wife, she was my fiance at that time, and she didn't know a whole lot about baseball. She'd come home and she'd go, we'd struggle one game or something. She'd go, "Rick, I don't understand. Why don't you just throw Tim every game?" and she didn't know baseball, so she didn't need to know the time in between rest and all that stuff. But anyway, that's a pretty good story with her.
I mean, maybe I could have. I don't know if I would have. I don't know if I would have fared to. Last year, I was with the Nashville Sounds last year in AAA, the Rangers affiliate, and there was a point with the first they told me they're like, you're not going to throw, like you're going to be a backup guy to a backup to a backup. And after like 2 days, they were like, hey, man, we need you to pitch 3 innings today. Can you do it? I'm like, yeah. And then before the first month was over in April, they had me, I pitched in a game, and then they called me that night. So I pitched in like, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And then I get a call from my pitching coach at midnight. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, about to go to bed, man. What's up? He's like, I need you to start tomorrow, and I need you to throw as much as you can. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, why not? And anyway, I faced the Iowa Cubs, and I threw 5 innings. And I think I faced the minimum because I got a double play. But I got Addison Russell out twice. I remember that. He was trying to hit the ball in the air, and I just kept throwing sinkers, man. Keep that ball on the ground. But even after that, they kind of had me in the starting rotation, but I would start a game, and then 2 days later, I'd pitch out of the bullpen. And then 2 days after that, I would start again. And to me, it was probably the most reminiscent of college. Like I was having the time of my life, when I'm 30-something years old, been doing this almost 20 years, and I'm sitting there going, I'm going further into games than these, 25-year-olds, and I don't know, just bouncing back quicker than, those guys. It shows people, when you have somebody, I had people like that I looked up to that would just get out there and play. And, hopefully some of the young guys that I'm with are like, hey man, if this old dude with the beard can do it, why can't I do it? Sometimes you don't know what you can do until you're actually, pushed.
Well,
you remember that day down at, go ahead, Adam.
No, that's what I think you and I are both talking about this next point was, when Rick just needs to encourage the guys, and I've been at ICC for 10 years, Lee's been around ICC baseball longer than that, but anytime Rick needs to just dig down, find a story to kind of inspire his guys, he talks about a game with you at Snead State. And Rick, I'm going to let you tell the story the way you tell
it. We were ranked, I don't know, third, moved up to third in the nation, and we go over to Snead, and I think we catching Tim the second game, and I walk out to the mound. We're up by about 9, and I have moved guys in left and right, some of the guys that hadn't pitched much that year. And next thing you know, the score's done 9-5. I move another guy in, 9-7. Well, Tim gets tired of it. Tim walks out there and says, hey, coach, you ready to go home? And this base is loaded. They didn't have lights over there. It's about dark, and it's in the last inning. They get a big hit right here. It's going to be tied. If not, we get beat. And I said, Tim, I've been ready, man. I said, but he said, give me the ball. I said, well, this was like on a Thursday, and we got Northwest on Saturday. And I said, man, we need you against Northwest. This game really doesn't matter as much. And he goes, no, coach, we can't get beat, man. And I said, you know what? Here's the ball. Go over and throw with the third baseman. I said, we may do this. And I sat there and talked a while, and I told the guys, when the umpire starts coming out here, tell me, and we may make a change. And about that time, here comes the umpire. I said, Tim, you ready? He said, yes, sir. It won't take 9 pitches. And sure enough, we put him in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, flips me the ball and said, let's go to the house. And he starts against Northwest on Saturday, but we didn't hurt him. It's a quick pin for him, just like he said.
And Tim, I'll tell you this, when he tells that story to the guys, and you've seen how fired up and competitive Rick can be.
Sure.
Matter of fact, I talked to him on the phone the other day. He bragged about hitting a home run, with his boy. But you can imagine just how fired up Rick gets in that situation, telling that story. But tell us what was going through your head during that moment.
Well, I mean, the same thing that goes through my head at every single game. Like, if you're going to be out there, if you're going to dress up and you got the uniforms on and you everyone's out there, you just want to win. I'm surprised that as much as I've been in the minor leagues, some people discount the minor leagues. Maybe there's guys in college that are like, well, this isn't like the best team, so let's just kind of mail this in. This isn't our rival, so let's just, pump the brakes a little bit. To me, I just want to win. Like, if we're going to do this, then let's do it the best we can and let's just win. And yeah, I remember that day I was just like, I'm sick of this, because I have a bird's eye view. I'm sitting there catching and I'm just like, man, I love these guys, but we keep this up, we're going to lose. And I don't want to lose, and I think what it comes down to is, what do you care about most? If you guys have been watching the Michael Jordan thing, have you seen this on TV? It's phenomenal. And it really gives you a look at why he was so good at times. And what I really like is that he just wanted to win more than other people. Where does that come from? And I'm looking at it going, yeah, everyone should do that. How come not everyone does that? And so I think when you're trying to pump somebody up and you have to sit there and tell them, hey, you want to try to win, that person should go, why don't I want to win as much as somebody else? To me, if you're going to be competitive, then be competitive to win. I tell the same thing to my kids. It's like, but once it's over, it's like, it's over. Don't beat yourself up over it. Like, just get ready for the next game. And I think that's where a lot of people will fail in some of those areas, is like the game's over and they're like, oh man, they're hanging on to it as much as possible. But especially in professional baseball, you have a game the next day. If that's a night game, you may be playing a game in 12 hours. So once that last out's made, when baseball, or that last bucket, or whatever the sport is, once that's over, it's all about getting ready for the next one. That's all that matters. And so, to me, it's go out there and win. And then if you win, great. Same thing. You have get ready for the next game. If you lose, that's, not the end of the world, but get ready for the next game.
Good things come to those who wait, but waiting means staying where you are, and you were meant for more. At Itawamba Community College, you can earn an affordable degree, certificate, or credits to transfer to a university for a fraction of the cost of most colleges while having the experience of a lifetime. Summer and fall orientation registration is underway, and spots are filling up fast. Don't wait. Apply today. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renaissance Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Okay, I got it. Well, it's got lots of pepperoni, and the crust is brushed with a buttery garlic sauce and sprinkled with Parmesan.
I mean, we could do something sort of like that, ish.
Wait, is that a cheese and pepperoni stuffed crust?
Little Caesars!
It's a pepperoni ambush!
No, 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 no!
No!
Little Caesars!
We're not Big Pizza, we're Little Caesars. The new pepperoni stuffed crust, just $10. Pizza.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra checking, go to renaissancebank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here, you can be your best. The best train here. Learn here. Succeed here. Perform here. Win here. Thrive here. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Well, Tim, let's talk about your Hall of Fame induction, kind of a tribute to everything you did here at ICC, all the great things you accomplished, also went on to accomplish after ICC. Just talk about that moment whenever you got the call and found out that you were going to be part of the ICC Athletic Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the first thing I said was, this doesn't have to do with academics, does it? Can't be, if that's the case. No, I mean, I'm sure I did pretty good. I don't know what my grades were. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm not even, I'm in no other Hall of Fames anywhere. I'm not, retired jersey. Like, that's it. Like, if people didn't have the internet, they would never know where you were. And I have a picture on the wall there. So proof that I was there. But it was really cool. They were like, yeah, you get to wear a suit and give a speech. And I was like, oh no, what do I say? I get nervous. Don't let this fool you. I'm actually really nervous when I speak. I'm in my office right now, so it doesn't matter, and you can edit this, right?
Yeah.
But when you're giving a speech in front of people, it's like, oh, what do you say? And what's really cool about it is my grandmother went to ICC. I think she went to IJC. She was in the very first class. And so I'm giving this speech, I don't even know what I was saying. I was saying blah, 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 blah. And I actually, on the wall behind me in the room where, they were doing the ceremony, was the picture of the first class. And she was on the wall behind me while I was talking.
That's
and
awesome.
So I turned around. I was like, that's my grandmother, and anyway, it was just, my brothers went to ICC. It meant a lot. And and I told both of them, I was like, hey, did y'all get a call about this Sports Hall of Fame thing? You didn't get that? You didn't get that call? One day they'll talk to me again.
Well, Tim, let's look over your career. Now, we can spend forever talking about your career. My first question is, what do you credit your longevity to throughout your career of baseball?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I don't have to go and hit anymore. I'm just a pitcher. People think, baseball player, to me, you have to almost split them in half. You have to go pitchers and you have to go position players, because what position players do to go out there and play every day is unbelievable. Like, to see it firsthand all these years, I just, if I ever thought that I could play a position for, every day for 9 innings, no shot I could do that. But you want me to pitch to 2 outs in the ninth every 5 days? I could probably do that. So I think it has to do with workload. But yeah, I've never had an arm problem this would have been season 18 this year. But it's taking care of yourself. I brought up the Jordan thing earlier, and one of the episodes they were talking about, maybe part of his success was he cared about the next game. And so that has to do with preparing for the next game. Well, what's that look like? That looks like rest. It doesn't mean going out and partying and things like that. It's about doing whatever you have to do to get ready, that if you had to throw the first pitch the next day, could you do it? And I think a lot of people get into the baseball life and that's really not their focus. Their focus is different things, or maybe it's video games till 3 a.m. or whatever it is. Especially now with Netflix, man, you could binge a whole show after a game and wake up and not know what city you're in or whatever. But it's a one thing that I think that gets overlooked a lot. I think maybe people don't even know about it when it comes to professional baseball, is there's a lot of people that quit every year. Like, it's a really hard life. I mean, it's fun, it's interesting, it's, you get to travel and all that, but it's hard. And oftentimes people are like, oh man, I'd trade my career for your career. People in the stands would be like, oh, I bet you love what you're doing. It's like, I do love what I'm doing, but it's not for everyone. There's a reason that not everyone does it. It's because it's just hard. There's people that get in and they're like, I can't do this, and they leave. Because it takes a collaborative effort, because if you're around it long enough, eventually you get married and you have kids, and I couldn't be doing it. So secret to my longevity, my wife lets me play. That's a short answer. And my kids are supporting me in that way. I never thought that my kids could watch me pitch. They watched me pitch almost every game at home last year. It's a pretty rare thing. I mean, I have no memory of my dad playing. I remember him coaching, but for them to actually see their dad play and talk to me about the game the next day, it's really cool. I mean, if anything else, that's all the motivation you could ever need.
Yeah.
And that's got to be very special, being there in Nashville, having your family there with you. Just talk about that. I mean, that you talk about how that plays into it, but as a dad, how does that feel, looking up there and seeing your kids looking back at you, like, hey, that's my dad, or your wife up there. Just talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no one at the games, if it's a crowd that only 400 or 500 people, then you can really see them and hear them. And I've been a part of those games. But then there's bigger crowds and stuff. I don't know. It's really neat. It's really neat. I don't remember ever in amateur ball, like high school or college, ever looking in the stands and being like, I wonder if my dad's up there or my brothers. Like, I don't remember any of that I can think of where I was, like I was playing for them or trying to impress them or anything like. I don't think my dad I was never raised in that environment where it's, hey, let's see what you can do for me out there. And so when I have this freedom when I'm on the mound because I've failed, I've succeeded, I've done everything in between 100 times. And so I'm on the mound and I can hear my kids yelling for me. I'm just like, yeah, this is pretty sweet. I can sit there and actually enjoy it in the moment because I don't know, just old and grizzly. I can just do that. If I was 20, and my wife's like, hey, come on, I'd be like, no, don't yell at me, but I'm over it. I think there's a certain level of just being comfortable. And when I'm on the mound, the game doesn't really speed up anymore. I've talked to young guys for years about this. When you're on the mound and things aren't going well, what do? The game speeds up, and next thing you know, you're throwing 100, miles an hour. Like you're just getting the ball and then you're throwing and you feel like you're just, sporadic out there. It's like, how do you slow the game down? And you can enjoy it, but at the same time, you're in it. You know what's going on. You know who the next hitter is. The guy on second can run, so he may take third. So make sure third baseman's close. I mean, you're in the moment in so many ways, and you just calculate everything like that. And that's part of it. Having family in the stands, it's really cool. They picked my warm up song, so the song will be playing, and they'll throw it down to second, and I'll be getting the ball from the third baseman, and I can hear them singing it up there. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Lee, Rick, any baseball questions in general you guys got?
No, I've enjoyed this now. I've enjoyed getting back with Tim, talking about a lot of stuff. That's good stuff.
I will say one of my favorite things that you do on your social media, Tim, is when another major league player signs a contract, you always share a story about how they got a hit off of you or you struck them out. So I will say that I do enjoy that. And Adam mentioned earlier a little bit about we have two former players who are now in minor leagues, Delvin Zinn with the Cubs and Tyreek Reed with the Rangers. What's some advice you could give, not just to those two guys, but the guys who are at ICC now as they move forward in baseball or just in life?
Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty special time. I mean, not special good, really, just because, with everything going on and baseball on hold for everyone, no one gets out of this clean. We're all getting affected by this. And we probably need baseball more than ever for the distraction. But when it comes to what you do in life, I feel like everyone always has expectations. I don't know. I don't want to put expectations on other people. I don't think people want expectations on themselves, right? Like you don't want to put I don't want to do that to my kids. Well, you should be more like this. It's like, why would I tell them that? I want them to be them. I don't want them to be somebody else. And so but we do that to ourselves. I mean, my goal in baseball, my expectation, I want to play 10 years in the show, right? Like if you ask any baseball player, hey, what are you looking to do? I want to play 10 years in the big leagues because 10 years is like, I don't know, you can get full pension, you probably make a lot of money. People know who you are if you play 10 years in the show. And that was my expectation. So years ago when I started doing the math and I was like, wow, I need 9 more years. I'm going to be 52 by the time, I get 10 years in the show. So am I a failure? Like, is that where my failure and success lies on whether I make it to the big leagues or whatever that is? But no, it's an expectation. I had to overcome the expectation I put on myself. I mean, I feel like I've been somewhat successful in my career, but to me, it's irrelevant. It's like I've enjoyed my career. There's a lot of people that are really successful and they haven't enjoyed a minute of it. They hate it, in fact. But I've enjoyed, even when the bus breaks down, the flight's canceled, giving up 16 runs in an inning, which I think I've done a couple times. Like you got to find a way to know that your happiness and your joy is not contingent on your circumstances. Baseball is just, to me, it's a microcosm of what life is. You talk about people from different backgrounds, different languages, different countries. They all come together in one little spot and you do life together. And I mean, it's instant struggles, it's instant successes on the field. So basically it's one season in baseball is like living like a full year of real life. Like that's really what it is. You're getting all these emotions and everything all into one package, and it's just there for 6 months. So I would say you don't know what's going to happen. The things you can control is your effort and attitude. They always do that, but you can't control other people, and you can't control what happens. As a pitcher, you have very little control. If the ball's not hit to me, I can't really do much. You just have to rely on everything going on, and you got to be okay with that. So to me, that all comes from expectations. Well, you know what? You can't predict the future. So why even try to come up with an expectation just so that you have to overcome it later? And so I do that, like I said, with my kids. And I mean, it goes with every relationship. I don't want people to put an expectation on me. There was a guy a couple of years ago, we were in Omaha, and he was like, "Hey, Tim, hey, man, I'm a big fan, And he pulls his kids up. He's like, "You're such a role model to my kids." And I was like, "Why would you ever tell your kids to be like a baseball player?" Like, I would never tell my kids that. Why? Hey, I want you to be like this. Why? I would never do that. There's a lot of baseball players I love. Those guys are awesome, but I wouldn't want my kids hanging out with them, wanting to be like them. I think it's more of a, how can you have the freedom to be yourself and live your life? Like, to me, that's it. You got to find that. You got to be okay with who you are. You got to be okay to enjoy the bad moments somehow. Like, that's a great place to be. And to me, that all stems from, where your expectations are.
I think that's beautiful advice for not only baseball, but life in general as well. Tim, I know we kept you a lot longer than we planned, and I appreciate you for sure taking time out of your day. I feel like we can talk another hour or two here. But is there anything else you would like to, at the end, maybe take a chance? Because this is going to play on our radio show, but as well be available online. So maybe some people that you don't get a chance to see very often here at home. And I'm trying to stretch to give you a little bit of time to think. But just some final thoughts here for some folks. And then Rick and Lee, I'll give you the same opportunity for final thoughts for Tim as well.
No, this is great. This is great. I mean, reminiscing. I mean, if you don't have those conversations, then you don't ever. It's hard to think about them. If those moments don't arise. My dad, I was playing baseball in Venezuela in 2014, and came back for Christmas, and I was sitting with my dad, and we were talking about something, and was like, my dad played in Venezuela, and so he tells me this story, and I'm like, "Dad, I've known you all my life, and like, you've never shared that story before." I was like, why now? He go, "Oh, I just thought of it." So if you're not having the conversations like this, you forget those moments. And also, I really appreciate this, because it was either you're keeping me from doing drywall in my house, which, for future reference, I gotta pay someone else to do it. I am not a drywallsman. But no, this is great. This is great. If someone's watching this or listening to this, I don't know. I'm just a baseball player sometimes, and whatever you're doing doesn't define you. It's not the quintessential thing. Oh, well, I did this. Have fun in whatever you're doing. There's always an opportunity to stay in the moment. If the past has happened, don't worry about it. It distracts you from the moment. Oh, what do you think's going to happen? You have no idea what's going to happen. Just stay in the moment. The moment's easy. That's why I love going places, and people are like, "Well, it's raining," or it's like, "Well, it's is this the first time it's ever rained? Could it rain? I mean, is it out of the realm of possibility that it could rain or be windy, or, the umpire's bad? You're kidding me. Like, that's never happened before." Like, you just, it's not being pessimistic. In fact, you're actually getting out in front of that and going, well, all this stuff could happen. So what's going to be my attitude in all this stuff? So anyway, I like to think I'm a pretty optimistic person, and that's kind of how I roll. I'm just like, could this stuff happen? Yeah. Could I play in the big leagues? Yes. So I would say I try to operate in coulds and shoulds. It's like, should this happen to you, or could it? When it should is almost negative. You see those guys in the clubhouse, they're like, "Man, I should be in the big leagues." Well, that's negative. It's like, could you play in the big leagues? Yeah. So whatever you're trying to do, try to stay in the shoulds and coulds. Like, hey, could should we win the World Series? I mean, maybe, but could we? Yeah, we totally could. We totally could. And to me, there is a difference when you start defining, like, is this a negative attitude or is this a positive attitude, and how that, goes and ripples effects on other people. Not sure where I was going with that.
Oh, that was great.
You put me on the spot, Adam. God.
I'm sorry. Lee, any final thoughts on your end?
No, I just appreciate you taking the time out and talking baseball with us. As you said, in this time, it's much needed to have baseball as a distraction more than ever. So, always a pleasure.
Rick?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's just great to be back around you and talk some good, fun memories. And just want to say good luck to you. Keep chasing it, man. Keep playing as long as you can.
Believe it. Have to rip that jersey off me, or they could just not give me one, and then I don't know what to do.
Appreciate everyone tuning in. Tim, thank you for your time. Hey, before I let you go, pop your social media where people can follow you and your website as well. Hey, and by the way, the socks, totally comfortable, my man.
Yeah, that's right. Only available at dimtillard.com. No, everything on social media and even the website is Dim Tillard. There was a lot of Tim Dillards when I got on Twitter. There were like 25 of them. Found out I wasn't really special, not as special as I thought. So I just changed the letters, so it's Dim Tillard. So that's basically everything.
Athletic summer camps are back on the Fulton campus of Itawamba Community College. ICC offers camps in band, basketball, cheer, football, soccer, softball, and volleyball throughout the months of June and July, but spots are limited and they're filling up fast. Visit letsgoicc.com. That's letsgoicc.com to find a camp for your favorite athlete and register today. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking, go to renaissancebank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton, or online davisfordsales.com.
Okay, I got it. Well, it's got lots of pepperoni, and the crust is brushed with a buttery garlic sauce and sprinkled with Parmesan.
I mean, we could do something sort of like that, ish.
Wait, is that a cheese and pepperoni stuffed crust?
Little Caesars!
It's a pepperoni ambush!
No! Little Caesars!
We're not Big Pizza, we're Little Caesars. The new pepperoni stuffed crust, just $10. Pizza.
In Searcy, Arkansas, a young man says I love you for the first time, but his girlfriend doesn't quite hear. In Franklin, Tennessee, a boy encounters his first pickle. And in Kyle, Texas, after a mission for tots, cousins realize they're a long way from Kyle, Texas. One day, many people, millions of orders. This is Howie Sonic.
Good things come to those who wait, but waiting means staying where you are, and you were meant for more. At Itawamba Community College, you can earn an affordable degree, certificate, or credits to transfer to a university for a fraction of the cost of most colleges while having the experience of a lifetime. Summer and fall orientation registration is underway, and spots are filling up fast. Don't wait. Apply today. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renaissance Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And that's going to do it for today's show. I'd like to thank our guests, Taylor Tudor, Michaela Dickinson, Tim Dillard, Coach Rick Collier, and Lee Adams for joining the show today. Remember, there's still time to join the ICC family. Visit apply.iccms.edu. That's apply.iccms.edu, or schedule your tour of Itawamba Community College by going to tours.iccms.edu. That's tours.iccms.edu. If you happen to miss any of today's show or previous shows, they are available on YouTube by searching the ICC Hour. Don't forget to subscribe to our page while you're there. I'm Adam Gore, and this has been the ICC Hour presented by Renaissance Bank, the bank that understands you. We'll see you right back here next week on Super Talk. Until then, have a great week, and as always, roll Tribe.